SlingStudio and program only. So I'm trying to figure out how all this works. I've got about 6 sources already set up on here, but unfortunately, one of them I got a camcorder that doesn't work. So I'm going to bring up a few of my sources. Right now, I'm on my iPhone right here, and I've got my Android in my hand. So what I'm going to do is bring in another shot. That's number 2. And that's another shot right there. I think, yeah, that's my Android. This is my Android right here. So, but my main audio is coming off my iPhone. That's my main audio right here that's coming in. But I've got, let me bring this back in. I've got my Samsung, my Nikon, that's my Nikon right here. Oh, they even let you zoom in. That's my Nikon right here. So I've got my camera link on there, but I haven't brought that Wi-Fi in on that, so I don't have that source right there. But everything else I have a source. So I'm gonna record this, and I'm gonna go back around. I've got my. You just have to remember what camera that you got up. So I've got my audio going to my iPhone, but I've got my video, the one that's showing now. So I'm gonna turn that around and let you see my cameras. That's one camcorder. That's hooked up. That's my Nikon camera. It's got the camera link, but it's not hooked up. That's another camera right there. Camcorder, I'm sorry. That's another camcorder right there with the camera link. That's hooked up. And that's another one right there with the camera link that's hooked up too. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Once I get that hooked up, that'll be 5. Okay, once I get that hooked up, that'll be 5. But I do have my Samsung, that's what I'm holding now. I do have that as my live view now. I'm live view with that. So I'm going to switch. Okay, that's the full view. That's I'm gonna show you which camcorder is. That's the camcorder right there. That's full view right there. So when I switch, I'm gonna go ahead and switch again. Okay, that's that camcorder right here. That's that camcorder right there. So what I'm going to do is switch again. 1, 2, 3. So I did take one of those off. So I do have my iPhone. This is my iPhone right here. So that's let me turn this back around. That's my iPhone right there. So I do have that as a source. See, if you got any type of smartphone, all you have to do, well, it's got to be I think it's 5.0 on Android. I think 9 or maybe 10.0 on the iPhone. But if you got that, you can bring in a shot without a camera link. Camera links, that's the camera links right there on top of the camcorder. That's one camera link. That's 2 camera links. You can see the green light on that. That's a 3 camera link. That's 4 camera links. So I'm able to bring all the, I'm on my iPhone. Let me switch back to my Android. Okay, let me switch here. So I'm able to bring all of the shots in that that I need to be able to switch. All this is wireless. It's no cables whatsoever. You can, let me put it down here at the floor so you don't see any cables whatsoever. All this is wireless. Okay, that's my SlingStudio. I'm getting ready to go over it with you. But this is what I wanted to do. I've been seeing parts of yeah, I'm on here. I've been seeing parts of videos on YouTube, but I haven't seen anything extensive. So I figured, well, I'll just go ahead and purchase it. And because I already had my camcorders, I didn't have to worry about that. But I really want to bring that camera online because I can actually do a more tighter shot with, now I'm gonna bring another shot in. This is my iPhone right here. Okay, that's my iPhone. That's this right here. So I can bring a tighter shot with my Nikon D7200. I'm sorry, I'm reading some Facebook messages. I really need to go ahead and delete that, but I always have to put in my password and stuff like that. But I can bring in, that's my audio right here that I have. Although I've got audio moving on everything in my capture shot. The only audio that's supposed to be going to the SlingStudio, that's this right here. I'll get back to that in a minute. I'll go over everything in a minute. But right now I've got 5. If I had 2 more sources, which I can bring in two more sources if I need be, but this goes up to 10 sources, which is great. So with that being, the smartphones are really not that bad. You just have to be close up. You're not going to get any zoom unless you close up, which is understandable because smartphones is just only zoom. But the vividness and the crispness is just awesome. So when I play this back, I'm gonna really see what it's gonna be like, what it's gonna look like. But what I wanted to do is get my sources all set, and this gives you about, let me switch one, that's a shot right there. So I only have 2 camcorders. That's a camcorder right there, and that's a camcorder right there. So I only have 2 camcorders that's hooked up. Now what I can do is go into my video sources. What I'm gonna do is disconnect one of my sources. Oh good, it shows that the audio is off. I'm hoping that it's off too on everything. I've got it turned down anyway. So what I'm going to do is go in and I'm gonna remove my Samsung. So I'm gonna remove my Samsung, and I'm going to bring in another source. Although you can only have 4 sources, your other sources are on standby. So it's pretty touchy how to bring them in. Okay, there you are right there. So I'm gonna bring another source in right there. So there's another source right there. So I'm going to bring that in. So that's another source right there. So now let me switch back. That's a camcorder, which is that's a tight shot. 1, 2, 3, and back to my iPhone. Now this is I'm holding my Android in my hand. So maybe this is showing, yeah, I'm holding my Android in my hand. So that's on standby. Whatever 4 sources that you have, let me see if I can show this. I don't think I can show this. I'd have to go to that. But whatever sources that you have, because it's not, I have to bring it on as a source in order to show it. I'll bring it on as a source. Let me go ahead and take one of these out and bring my Samsung back in, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm bringing my Samsung back in. Okay, so now I've got my Samsung back in now. So this is my Samsung, but my audio is still supposed to go to my iPhone. I'm hoping that it does. I don't know, but I'm gonna switch it, and I'm gonna show you guys this. Okay, that's the console. That's a SlingStudio Console. So that's where my shots, if I wanted to switch shots, that's my preview, and this is my live. So what I'm gonna do, I can go to one preview, and then I can drag that down to live. Okay, or I can go double click. I'm in a hurry for that. I'm gonna bring that live. Or I can go one click to preview, drag it down, and it's there. So this is my Samsung. Okay, this is my Samsung that I'm on now. This is what I'm showing you guys now. So that's the Samsung. That's a one camcorder. Now I can rename them so I'll know exactly what it is. I can rename them. And that's a camcorder. That's a wide angle shot right there. So I have 3 camcorders set up, but I took one out. So and this is still my iPhone. This is where my audio is supposed to come from. This is where my audio is supposed to come from. So so I'm going to show you guys right now. Let me make sure that I've got I'm on my Android. Let me see. Let me go back to my Android. It does show my Samsung right there. So now I'm going to show you the difference. So that's the console. That's only on iPhone only. They really recommend you to do the console. That's going to be able to go into everything. They want you to really do that on the iPad. You might can do it on the Samsung. I don't know, but it's Samsung pretty much on the tablet side. I couldn't get. I've got a tablet, but I couldn't get it to work, so I just went on it. But I do have another iPad, but it's got to be like a 9 or 10.0 to be able to do it. But that's my that's the SlingStudio box. That's the brain right there. That has you can see the little red light right there. So that's recording, and the green is power. And it does have, I'm recording to the SD card. Now they did recommend you to record. That's the other iPad. It's just not compatible. I couldn't even get the app to come up, even to be able to use it as a source. But they recommend you doing a SSD drive, a solid state drive, opposed to a SD card. But I do have an SD card in there, so that's the iPhone, and this is the that's the extender. Okay, this is what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to go hard wire for an Ethernet port. That way, if I'm live streaming inside of a building or something, it won't drop off. If I don't really have a good live stream, a good internet connection with my hotspot, I'll just go ahead and just record it. But even if I do record it, I mean, I'm recording up to 4 shots. I'm recording up to 4 shots at the same time. So that's really fantastic. Plus, 3 of them are going to be, I can control them as far as if I want to be in tight or if I want to be sideways or whatever. I can control them because those 3 are with camcorders. So I'm gonna go back around and I'm gonna show you. This is the battery. So this right here, that's that right there. That's where y'all going? Okay, all right. This is the battery that goes on here, which is pretty much going to give you what you need as far as being able to be mobile. That's going to pretty much, I say about, they say a couple hours, but I wouldn't bank on trying to make sure you get 2 hours out. Whatever you have to do, just do an hour and a half. But if you do 2, then you really not kind of make sure you have something that you can charge it with. But that's the box. Okay, that's what this came in the box. But the main thing that's going to make this really go is this right here. you can hook your SSD drive on here. This is 3.0. You can't see it, but it's got the little blue USB 3.0. And sorry, it's kind of hard to focus here. And the Ethernet. The Ethernet's really not showing up, but it's there. So that right there is pretty much, it's going to be a broadcast truck in a bag. That's pretty much what it's going to be like, because dealing with one shot, two shots, three shots, and that's a fourth shot right there, which now I can bring another camcorder in. So let me get rid of the Samsung, because I've already showed you guys. So let me get rid of this one, and then that's my iPhone right there. So let me bring, and then automatically when you want to bring in another source, it automatically leaves that space blank. I can't show you because, okay, let me show you what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this and show you, because I do have my Samsung right here. Okay, so right there you see a blank right there. So I'm gonna show you what it does. That means I'm ready to bring in another source. I'm still live with this one right here. This is my iPhone in preview. Now if I wanted to bring another one in preview, I can do it like that. And then I can go ahead and get my my source ready. So what I can do is go ahead and go back in here. You see that right there? Those are my spares. I call them my spares. The blue is what's live. The white is what's the spare. So right now, watch when I touch this. See, all this is 1080p. Okay, see, that's 1080p. But if I went live, as far as live streaming, they recommend me 720. Facebook is only going to give you 720 anyway. So I would have to scale this down to 720, which is not going to be bad. But what I'm going to do is bring this in right here. So what I'm going to do is bring that one, and you'll see it. Boom, it comes live. So once that comes live, if I immediately have to cut that live, just bring it live, and boom, it's live. So this is awesome. This is what it's going to make a lot of people be able to live stream or record. That's going to make them look more professional. That's the whole thing of it, is when they designed this. The mobile hotspot is pretty much getting to be the norm. A lot of people are really coming to that. Let me bring my Samsung back in here so I can talk to you guys. In fact, I'll talk to you guys on my iPhone. So a lot of times hotspots are coming more available, where you can get a hotspot without having an internet connection. It's within the device, where they can bring a hotspot where you can connect 2 or 3 devices. I do on-site printing now. So Epson has printers that will, it's called Direct Connect, where they will connect to each other wirelessly. But you really have to have an internet connection ahead of time. But once you connect, all those printers will connect to each other. They'll connect to each other, and then they will connect to your Wi-Fi. So as far as the hotspot's concerned, I can send it from my phone to my to the printer. I don't even have to have any wires. So what I do is, when I take a shot, I also have Cam Ranger, where I can send my Cam Ranger wirelessly to the iPad. And once it hits the iPad connects wirelessly to the Epson printer. So it's like, once I take a picture, it sends it. The person gets it that's going to print it, brings it up into the iPad, which takes maybe 4 seconds to get to the iPad, and once they bring it up in the iPad, maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds at the max. And they're sending it to the printer, which the printer might take a minute 30, a minute 40. So we talking about a complete picture in 5 minutes. This is what's coming now with hotspots, direct connect hotspots. Now, I do have a Sony camera. Let me see if I can go back and catch my Sony camera. Which one is my Sony camera? That's this one right here. So I'm going to connect this to this Sony camera right here. So that's my Sony camera right there. And I was going to you see how crisp and vivid that is, and I'm not really that close up, but these cameras are nice. I don't deal with nothing but Sony cameras, but my Sony camera, I just went and purchased a 4K, which I really wanted. Sony, something close to direct connect. They got where they got multi-camera connect, where if you got a Sony, Sony has its own Wi-Fi type within the camera. If it's Wi-Fi for Sony camera, that it'll automatically bring that camera in, which you can just hit the record, and you have a main camera. You can just switch scenes, but each camera is going to record individually. Each camera is going to record individually. What you do when you get now, if you just showing it or you going to Ustream, you can just hit it and it'll go to different scenes, that type of thing. But if you hit record, you got to hit record 1, 2, 3, whatever record sources that you have, camcorder, you got to hit record on each one, and then it'll start recording. But when you get through, you take it into Sony software, it'll bring all that in on Sony software, and you can do it that way, or you can bring it into Adobe Premiere, and then you can do your sync that way. Which is, you know, I have something pending now that I'm getting ready to take into Adobe Premiere. But Sony, you missed it. You really was close, because I thought your cameras was going to be like that, but you know, for some reason, it's not like that completely. It will be probably in another year or two, which now that you see SlingStudio has already taken charge and having one main hub. Let me get back to this, and I'll show you a little bit more about this. So let me swap back. This right here is one main hub. All my sources comes into here wirelessly. What they do is you see the camera links on top of the camera. Those camera links right there, they're wirelessly. They talk to the SlingStudio. Let me go back. They talk to this right here, and SlingStudio, I think those are the same people that on Sling TV or something like that. But they bring everything into this. This is like the brain. They bring everything in here, sync everything. Now I can actually record and go live at the same time. I'm just recording, and to just take it in here, and I'm getting ready to take it to the computer, and I'm really gonna see what it looks like, because it's some other things that I can do. But I'm anxious to take it to the computer. They recommend Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut. But all these sources comes into the brain. It comes in here. So with that being said, take the SD card out, pop it in your computer. You ready to start editing. And if everything is synced the way you want it to sync, you just putting a title on it and putting some chapters in it, and you ready to go with it. If you go into probably Blu-ray, because DVD is almost, it's not gone, but Blu-ray is, you know, it just holds more information. So if you actually doing your own editing inside of the box. So this is a great addition to the live streaming and the video recording and the multi-camera. All this rolls into one to be able to fit into this is all going into my bag. I've got a bag, and all this is going into my bag. So when I walk into a customer, when I set my tripods up, I get my angles set, and I probably can be recording and live streaming or live stream or recording at the same time. So it goes out to everybody, and you get a finished product when it's over with. So this is great. This is great right here. I'm glad that, you know, I finally, because I've got let me go back here. I've got different ways that I can live stream. Okay, I've got the Mevo, and the Mevo is great. And I really like the Mevo. You got to have good light with the Mevo. This right here, you do have to have good light with any video, but Mevo is fixed. The lens is fixed. Only thing you can do is just put it close. Once you put it close, you've live streaming. If you're having a conference, or if you're having a live concert, put that Mevo right there and you stream it. So it's really no reason why a lot of people don't put their content or try to put what they're doing out so other people can see them. They really like into a closet. It's time to come out of the closet and let people know what you're doing. I mean, it's great when you're showing pictures and little excerpts of a video, but when you live stream, some people some people want to hear or want to see what you got to say or what you're doing, which is just expand your audience. So I'm excited about this, and I'm getting ready to stop this video. I've been recording for probably almost 30 minutes now, so I'm anxious to play this back. And when I get through with this, all I have to do is stop the record right there. I can go right into the app, and I can watch the recording right there. I'm just hoping that my audio is right. If not, I'm going to still go with it because I want to get this out there, because there's a lot of people that's probably hesitant about SlingStudio because they don't know. But if you don't have a lot of camcorders, then you're gonna have all your smartphones in different locations to be able to get that the close-ups. But if you got camcorders already set, but they do recommend you to have the same type of camcorder. So, but it's just gonna take you to post. But you can record every cam. You can't record each individual smartphone, but your camcorder, you can record each individual camcorder, and you can go to your computer and you can do whatever editing you want. So you can get it right back, but it's just taking you longer to be on the computers. But this right here, I mean, if I took a burner, external burner with me, an extra hour, I mean, you know, I could be out of there a complete project, live view, record, burn the DVD with titles in an hour after I get through, which is great. Packed up, everything ready to go. So I'm excited about this. I'm getting ready to stop it now, and I'm gonna review it myself. Okay, take care, and may God bless you all.